I don't think if like, say somebody had $1 billion, I wouldn't say that he's more successful than me. I would just say he has more money than me. And I think that's the power of separation. We tie so many things into definition, right? Success to me is a feeling of, it's an emotion. It's something that when your purpose is activated and you are impacting people in any way, shape, or form, there's so many ways to impact people, right? Now, there are byproducts of success. Like money can be a byproduct of success. You know, when you do something and you create a supply and demand, you get paid for it. But I don't think because you make money that you're successful. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think, you know, there's a lot of things that you could tie to that. Just like I don't think just because if your life isn't going the way you are, that doesn't mean that you let that make you unhappy. Those are two separate things. It's really the power of separation. So for me, success is a feeling, and it's when my purpose is activated. So I remember I did an interview and they asked, you know, talking about success. And I said, well, I'm not the most successful person in the world. And I was like, well, maybe I am actually, because I love so many aspects of my life and I'm living in the life that I've always dreamed of, you know, times 10. I only wanted to have a song on the radio and like a platinum song, and bro, I've sold 185 million records or something crazy. I've like taken care of my mom, my dad, everything's just been sprinkles on top. So to me, success is really activating your purpose, and happiness is something that you can choose instantly. Your happiness is something that you can choose instantly, and it's something that I learned the hard way. Because when I have fallen into like a dark time, you know, we all go through these ups and downs. When I've been down bad and like the depression comes in, the anxiety comes in, the self-sabotage comes in, and you can hold on to these things and they will stick with you your whole life. You have to decide to let them go. And that's one of the things I talk about in the book. A lot of people may not know how to do that, and there are a lot of ways. But one of the first ways is to choose how you feel. You're in control of that. And it's easier said than done, because when things aren't going your way, you're pissed off at everybody. You're like blaming everything. Well, first of all, you have to quit blaming everything else and realize that you're a magnet. You're magnetizing your whole world to you. You know, so if that's the case, obviously you switch it to an emotion that resonates with you more, or at least how you desire to feel, right? And you can choose that, and I'm telling you, your whole experience will change. So happiness is something you can choose. One of the biggest blessings in your life is growing pains. One of the biggest blessings is going through a time where you are feeling at your lowest or depressed or whatever the feeling is, because that is just confirmation that you're not in alignment and that you're meant for something different, or you're meant for something more, something greater. You know, if you were satisfied with where you're at, then that just is what it is, and you know, you probably wouldn't even be depressed. But because you feel a certain way, or like you're not all the way there, that is just confirmation that you are truly, truly meant for more or something different. So to me, I think that when you recognize, okay, you know, once you start recognizing things of that nature, you could say, okay, what's the first step of getting out of this? And so that's part of the book. I say, you know, accepting where you are. That doesn't mean you have to stay there. That just means accepting the blessings and all the things that come along with where you are, to open up space for more. And you're letting go of all the baggage that is holding and weighing you down. I used to be like that. I used to be like, when things don't go my way, I'm terrible. Oh, this doesn't happen the way I wanted it to, the way I thought, you know, I'm always shocked, right? And I'm not to say that things don't affect me when they don't go my way, but I have the armor on now. I know how to deal with it. I know how to get over it and get back to it. Mm-hmm. That's how a lot of my heroes deal with things too. You know, when you think of like Denzel Washington, like say he has a new movie out, say the movie does amazing and it's incredible and he wins an Oscar, say the movie comes out and it bombs or it doesn't do as well, he's not gonna give up and quit. It's not gonna ruin his life. He's gonna move on to the next thing and use that to the power of separation. I mean, you know, that's a real thing.
Yeah, you reminded me of, I love Denzel too. So
yeah, I know.
you reminded me of...
I can't speak for Denzel, that's just like an example.
Of what you're perceiving.
Yeah.
I remember my football coach growing up gave me this piece of advice, and it stayed with me ever since then. He would say to us, if you lose, cry for a night.
Yeah.
And he goes, if you win, celebrate for a night, but then get back to training.
That's right.
So if you lose, cry for a night, but then get back to training. And if you win, celebrate for a night and get back to training. It was always about getting back to training the next day.
Yeah.
It was like, you can't just sit there and cry for a week or cry for a month. And you can't, in the same way, celebrate for a month. You can't just live off your past success